Hi and welcome to my place. This year it's all about homemade or vintage inspired Christmas decorations. Aren't these little shell fairies just the cutest little thing you ever did see? So easy to make. The hardest thing is to actually get the shells. But if you've got a seafood restaurant not far from your place, go and ask the chef or the kitchen hand if they can give you the shells. Right, let me just show you how easy these are to make. You need to get yourself a shell. And then you need to get yourself some rope or some string. I'm using the rope here, and it's about a metre, just over a metre long, and I've got 8 strands, and I've just tied that into a nice little bow. You need to get your glue gun, put a good dollop of glue on here. I think my glue gun's just not quite as hot as it should be. And then turning that over, get that and put that, glue that onto the back like that, and make sure that you've got a nice little wee fat paddy bit there, because that is where we're going to stick the head. Now the longest part of this is waiting for the glue to dry, and you do need to make sure that it is thoroughly dry before you go any further. Right, from there the next thing to do is to get a little polystyrene ball, or you could get a wee ping pong ball. And what I did was, when I just put it down on the bench like that, and I gave it a wee flatten out so that I've got a bigger working surface, and then that gets stuck onto there like that. Now about now you just have to hold it, don't let it down, because if you do the head will fall off, and we don't want a fairy with her head dropping onto the work surface. Right, from there the next thing is to get a nice little piece of, this is a lovely bit of trim that's got little roses in it with little wee pearls. So I'm keeping everything sort of like that pearly shelly look. Right, a little bit of glue onto there, and then that gets stuck up there, up by her little neck, or where that ball just fix is onto that little shell like so. Now the next thing is we need some hair, and this stuff here, this is the dolly's hair. It just, oh, I love it. Look at that. Imagine if I had hair like that. I might have a bit too much here. Right, the next thing to do is to turn that around there like that, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there, and with lots of care and attention so that one doesn't burn one's fingers, just put that, push that down onto there like that, and hopefully the glue doesn't come through. Wild fairy here. Right, the other thing that you need to do is to get like some little, I've got some little wire with some little pearls on it, because that's going to be for her little head or a little wee halo. Glue that into there, and then carefully push that down onto there. And I know I'm going to burn my fingers, so I'd rather burn or push that down with that so that it doesn't burn my fingers. Right, the next thing to do is to quietly turn that over, and then we need another little bit of string, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there, and then holding those two together, this is going to be the wee hanger for hanging her. Put that down onto there, and I'll use those to hold that, push that down into place so that that stays there. And then the other thing I'm going to do is to just take a little bit of glue up to there, and then bring that across to there. Now that little bit there, that little hooking string, what that will do is that will give even more support to keep a wee head in place. Right, when that's dry, carefully turn that over, and about now I give it a good squash down. Now, just to keep it all very nautical and seashorey, I've got this lovely little sterling silver star, and I've got a little bit of wire which I'm just going to put through there, and then bind that off. You could probably stitch this on by hand if you wanted to, but I did this the other day and I found that this was a much easier way of doing it. Then getting a little bit of glue, and then just push that under there like so, and then just get that and push that up into there and bring that down to there, because I wanted that to actually swing, and it's gone the wrong way, so I'll turn that over like so. Try and get that as straight as you can. Fairies need a wee face. There were many, many years when none of my fairies that I made ever had faces, because it gave them personality. So about now, be very careful about how you put your little eyes and face on, because if it's wrong, it's going to be terrible. Right, just a little dot there, a little dot there, and a little dot there for her little mouth. And look at that. 5 fairies all made and ready to go. And what I love is, look at these here, this is like her little legs, or it could be her little bottom wings, but I just think that is just so cute, so easy to make, and these would be fabulous gifts to give to your friends. So if you've got new friends that have just moved into a house and they're starting off their life together and they don't have any Christmas decorations, make them a set of these, and you can build onto them every year. absolutely love it. And I'll show you my tree in due course with all my little wee handmade things on it. I hope you enjoy that because I've enjoyed making those. They're very special.